Hello, 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 beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Analogue, a hate story. When last we left off, we diverted disaster and managed to survive, but at what cost? We had to get rid of Mute. Well, we'll be seeing her later, of course. She does have an ending of her own, but we are first going to go for Hyunai's endings, which I personally are my preferred endings. But, opinions and all that, although I get the feeling I'm not in the minority on that one. But let's go and show Hyunai more of Mute's questions. I think we left off. I don't remember if we showed her this one or not. Yeah, I think we did. Oh, okay. So, yes. From Mute. Question. What do you really look like? Hyunai, thoughts? Well, about a few thousand lines of assembly code and a few gigabytes of memories, I suppose. Sitting on a hard drive somewhere. I don't really know what that looks like. I guess you actually meant before I died, didn't you? Well, I was 13 years old when I woke up and 16 when I died. So, well, I looked younger, but I wasn't really all that different. Just shorter and, I guess, smaller in other places, too. Everyone always did say I was pretty, though, even when I was really young. So just, I guess, picture a shorter version of me without the glasses, with my hair in some dumb braid or another in a hanbok, and that's pretty much it. I never really got to dress up the way I wanted to. Even this is the first time I've been able to wear my school uniform since I was 13, before I got put in stasis. How silly is that, being excited about wearing a uniform? Well, to be fair, you're in a scientist get-up at the moment. Oh well. And, I mean, you know how much I was into cosplay. Never really had a chance for that when I was alive. Why do you ask? What are you thinking? We're not going to be mean. You look good. Well, thank you. Anyway, we should really get back to the more serious stuff, don't you think? Yes, I get the feeling this is going to take a very serious turn. No? How old are you? We already know that. Sure, how old are you? Isn't that the one question you're never supposed to ask a woman? Jeez, so rude. Well, I was born in the year 2415, and I was put in stasis for I don't know how long, and I lived for about another 3 years and died at about 622 years ago at the age of 16. Oh, lovely. So, you tell me how old I am. I don't know. Really, I don't think it really matters at this point, does it? I agree, it's not particularly important, although I do like world building. I do like lore. How do you feel about Mute? Oh, of course, that'd be one of her questions. Well, let me put it this way, I suppose. Did she have anything nice to say about me? No, she didn't. That's what I thought. I really don't know much about her, other than what I've read in people's logs. She never talked to me, ever. I mean, she wasn't above talking about me, but no, never anything to me. That's all I know about her. She's a gossip. Yes, she is. I don't even want to speak to her now. Were you able to speak to her after being in a computer? Because technically you were on different cores. So, theoretically, I don't know how that works. That and the whole one being disabled, the other being enabled, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes. Why couldn't you just settle for a happy marriage? It's not like I ever thought as a child I would never marry. You tell me though, could you marry someone you'd only ever talk to once? No, I couldn't do that. Me personally, that is very much my answer. Yeah, not my thing. I mean, I guess technically I could, in the sense that I would be physically able to do it. It is something I am capable of doing. I wouldn't want to, nor would I be happy to do so. would be the more appropriate answer. Well, maybe you shouldn't be judging me for it. It's not like it's my fault. We both read the same logs. I wasn't the only person in the shift to be crushed by a horrible marriage. You most certainly were not. Maybe I could have done unspeakable things to our servants like Osojin did. Hey, I like that story. Is that what Mute meant by a happy marriage? Sorry, I'm not usually this sarcastic. I just don't think it's a fair question. The two older Kim sisters. You should read their letters. Here, I'll show you. They had it just as bad. It's a really unfair question to ask. I like letters, and you gave us more. I'm not going to go through those yet. I have a pretty good idea of what they are. Oh, I actually just wanted to go back. Oh well. Stupid me. Oh, more Block 1 stuff. Oh, only first Block 1 stuff. Okay. Letter to Sun Hee 1. Written by Kim Eun-mi. Written 4/18 of the year 313. Dear Sun Hee, I wish we'd had more of a chance to talk before I left. I'm sorry it was so sudden. Not my choice. Please, believe me. It's really weird living in someone else's house. Even just, like, the place itself, you know? The walls of the house are way smaller. There aren't even separate women's quarters. It's pretty much just a paper divider separating us from the men most of the time. You can see and hear everything. It's so weird. Also, there's a lot more to do around the house. If you thought Mom was strict, wow. Mother-in-law makes her seem positively gentle, but in comparison. I know I'll just have to get used to it, but she kind of scares me. Plus, we don't have any servants here at all, so I have to handle pretty much all the chores. I'll try to write you regularly, though, so long as I can find the time. Mother-in-law keeps me pretty busy during the day with housework, and my husband keeps me pretty busy during the night with other work. It's pretty much chores all day, every day, but I'll try to sneak in another letter soon, alright? With love from your sister, Eun-mi. So far, sounds good, right? Things fell apart between them with time. Well, yeah, here, see for yourself. Okay, sure, I'll do that. And more, Christ, that's a lot of letters. Letter to Eun-mi 1. From Kim Sun Hee. Written 4/29 of the year 313. Let's see if I'm even close to pronouncing that right, because I'm not sure. What was the name again? EU? Okay. Eun-mi, something like that. Dear Eun-mi, I wish you could have found the time sooner, but if you say you're busy, fine, I believe you. Things aren't very interesting at home. Mom's been really busy lately. I think she's in a big hurry to get me married. I wish she wasn't. How come you don't have to do interviews until you were 14? Lucky. One of them seems nice though. I think the man's name was O. I talked to his mother about you for a bit. Don't remember what brought it up, but I told her about the dolls you left me. The second interview we did, she brought me one of hers from when she was my age, and said I could keep it. Interviews suck, but I think I'd be fine with marrying her son. I mean, if I really have to. She sounds better than your stupid mother-in-law. Love, Sun Hee. So far sounds good, right? Things fell apart between them in time. Now here, see for yourself. And with that I will drink. And drink, yes. Still drinking beer. Still have beer this I guess, week. Anyway. Letter to Me Too by Kim Sun Hee. Written 7/16 of the year 316. Hell yeah. Dear Me, thanks for being able to come to my wedding, even if it was just for a day. Don't worry about what Mom said about you not having kids yet. You shouldn't take that personally. I was just really happy to see you again, since I wasn't sure I ever would. I love you, big sister. I'm sorry bothering you with this so soon after we spoke, but I really need you to answer something for me. I don't have anyone else to ask, and I'm really worried about something. It's really embarrassing, but I just have to know. The night I moved in, my husband and I slept together. I'm not ignorant about how that's supposed to work. I know why. Afterwards, my husband said that everything was fine and that I shouldn't worry, but it really hurt a lot. I was crying the whole time, and he injured me so much there was blood everywhere. I know I'm not supposed to question him, but that's not normal, right? Should I insist on seeing a doctor? He seems so nice besides that, so I don't understand. What should I do, big sister? Love, Sun-hee. Well, no sex education there, huh? Yeah, you should finish the rest first. You can see for yourself how things turned out. I mean, the lack of sex education is one thing. I think both are understandable. Both sides of this, some person being concerned because they have no idea what's happening, and the other involved saying that it'll be okay, essentially. Yeah, so it's an interesting topic, although it still strikes me as weird that neither of them, either her husband nor her, she doesn't know, nobody ever told her, not good, for one. And then husband didn't kind of go explain it a bit more in a bit more detail to somebody that was possibly very confused. Although it could just be, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a bad thing necessarily. It's just weird. It's strange. It's not uncommon even in today's day and age, especially depending on where you live. But still. Letter to Sun-hee 2 from Kim and Yeon-mi. Written 7/16 of the year 316. Dear Sun-hee, no, you don't need to see a doctor. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, little sister, but I'm afraid your husband is right. That really is normal. Don't worry about freaking out either. You're a lot younger than I was when I got married, so it's probably even worse for you. I'm so sorry. It gets a little easier after the first time. It's still uncomfortable though, you just have to endure it. That never changes. I'm sorry. Don't worry about the crying either. Men actually find that to be attractive, so just keep doing it and you'll probably make him happy. If you're lucky though, you'll get pregnant quickly and won't have to worry about any of that for months. That's, let's just finish this before I comment on that. That aside though, how have you been? How's your new family? I haven't heard much about them. I keep trying to ask Mom to tell me about your husband, but all I got was a lecture about how I was nearly 3 years old when she'd been married for as long as I had. As if I'm not trying. So do tell me about him and his family, please, and I'd love to know. With love, from your older sister, Yeon-mi. Yeah, that's, not... I guess that's... I don't want to say puritanical, because it's not puritanical. I don't actually know what the puritanical views on sex was. I know the euphemism as is like, oh, super repressed, but I'm talking about puritanical in the sense of the Puritans who... in the wake of religious persecution, left Europe and came to America, that whole thing. Those Puritans, the actual Puritans. But man, that's, I'm not going to say classical, but that's, in what stuff I've read dating back to the equivalent time period, which I'm going to guess is probably Middle Ages. I guess it would be a bit earlier than that, but medieval ages. Like 7th or 8th century to like 13th, 14th, no, yeah, longer than that, much longer than that actually. Anyway, yeah, that's not an uncommon viewpoint, but still not good. Oh well. Letter to Sun-hee, actually, we didn't show this one to you. Thoughts? Yeah, okay, I can finish the rest first. Okay, I will. Letter to Sun-hee 3 from Kim and me, 4/13, year 317. Dear Sun-hee, I said in my last letter that I was pregnant, and thanks for the congratulations, but I hope you didn't rush to tell Mom. You have to send her the bad news. It was a false alarm, I'm afraid. I bled this month. I hope you're doing better, little sister. Your child is due any day, right? Love, Yeon-mi. Out of curiosity, yep, okay. I didn't skip anything on accident. Good. Thoughts? Or are you just going to tell us the same thing? Weird that it's not registering my clicks very consistently. That's odd. I wonder if that's, I don't know. Letter to Yeon-mi 3 from Kim Sun-hee, written 5/15 of the year 318. Dear Yeon-mi, I wish I could have written you sooner, but I'm afraid I haven't had the time, what with having a real pregnancy and all to worry about. My mother-in-law insisted that I take the time to write my family, though, so I just finished a letter to Mom first. Sorry about your false alarm. I did tell Mom, and she wasn't very happy to hear it. I'm sure you're not really surprised by that, though. The good news, I gave birth 2 weeks ago. Her name is Jian, and she is the cutest little child you ever see. She reminds me a lot of our little brother, although she has her father's eyes, really. I really wish you could meet her. I just know you'd think she's absolutely adorable. So, I'm a mother now. I still can't think of myself that way. It's so weird. Right now, she's just so small, she can't even lift her head. But every time I look at her eyes, I wonder how I'm going to be able to raise her. Mother-in-law always says I shouldn't worry, it'll come naturally, and she'll be there to help. I guess that's true. I definitely don't know what I'd do without her. At the very least, I sure wouldn't ever get any sleep. It's just scary, you know? Wasn't it just yesterday that we were playing together in our father's house? Now it's been nearly 16 years since I was born. I'm a wife and a mother. How did we get so old? I mean, it could be worse. I know that's a good age for both of those things. And that's really disappointing if you're older and haven't managed that. I have it good. It's just odd to think about it. But I'm not complaining, and when you're a mother, you'll understand why, big sister. I just love her so much. She means everything to me. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. I think Jian is crying to be fed now, and mother-in-law can't help with that, so I'll leave it there. Take care, sister. Love, Sun-hee. I should finish the rest first? Okay. It vaguely... I don't remember this underling at all. I'm sure I read it, but I don't remember it. A vague sense of dread, but only vague. Letter to Sun-hee 4, written by Kim and me in 5/16 of the year 318. Well, dear Sun-hee, well, maybe you could use a little more caution in what you send to Mom, because it's not like you don't understand how annoyed she can get, especially at me. There's a reason you're the only one she still actually talks to. I'm trying, you know, but I can only do so much. Congratulations on your daughter. I'm really excited to hear about that. Yeah, it's a shame that I can't see her. She sounds wonderful. I don't really have much else to say. I just wanted to acknowledge your letter. Things haven't really been worth talking about. My mother-in-law is still a crazy tyrant, and my husband and I are still trying to have a son. Nothing new, nothing worth mentioning. I'm glad things are going much better for you. With regards, Yeon-mi. It still makes me think that there's something going on in the background that's not really expanded upon in this. That might be expanded upon in Hate Plus, but I've not read it, so I couldn't say for sure. But yeah, it's just so much common occurrence of infertility. I don't know what the rate of infertility is in the equivalent time period of this. I also don't know, or I also know that, you know, sex isn't even unprotected sex with the whole, you know, that whole thing. Don't want to get in trouble from YouTube by talking about sex too much, or the intricacies of such, anyway. But it doesn't always result in pregnancy. It's, if I remember percentages right, and I might not, I don't remember percentages very well. It's like less than 75% at any given time. It, depending on the time of the month and ovulation schedule, it's higher and lower, and so on and so forth. But I think it averages out to like 60 or 70 or something percent. Don't remember though. Could be very wrong. Thoughts? You're just going to tell me to read the rest? Fair enough. Yeah, the issue that I had, by the way, the not registering my click stopped as soon as I mentioned it. Not sure what that was about. Could just be the RenP hardware acceleration mouse, or whatever the fuck, it being finicky, which happens because RenPy is finicky. Letter to Yeon-mi 4 by Kim Sun-hee, 2/13 of the year 322. Dear Yeon-mi, how long has it been since we last wrote each other? It feels like it's been forever. I wish you wouldn't be such a stranger. I have a 2-year-old son now. His name is Taehyun, and he takes after his father in a lot of ways. He just started to learn to talk now, much earlier than Jian did. No surprise. But Jian is a real sweetheart. She's what reminded me of you. The two of them had fought, so I was scolding her. I told her that I was disappointed, that I expected better from her as an older sister. I gave her the whole filial responsibility speech, you know? The one that Mom always used to give. It's funny, I hated that so much as a kid. I promised myself I'd never guilt my own children that way. Now I just think to myself, well, it worked, didn't it? Anyway, she asked me what it meant to be an older sister. I had trouble with that one. Finally, I said, it means you should be a good role model. Teach your little brother what it means to be responsible by example. Show him. That was all well and good enough for her, but I thought about it, and it's not a good enough answer for me. Not at all. It's you that I've been thinking of, and, you know, I turned out okay. I wish I could take back what I said and tell Jian what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to be perfect. You're not a good role model, but that's fine. I love you anyway, big sister, and I always will. Even if everyone is disappointed in you, even if you're not really family anymore, as far as I'm concerned, you're still my big sister. You don't have to be perfect. I love you, period. Please write back, sister, even if you don't have good news to report. I just want to hear how you are. Love, Sun-hee. Thoughts? That is quite sad. That's one more that Yeon-mi never sent. I'm going to warn you now, though. It's really intense. Are you sure you want to read it? Yep. That's a warning. I'm into that. Very well. There you are. It's been added. Don't say I didn't warn you, though. Okay. What's the title of this one? Unsent Letter to Sun-hee by Kim Yeon-mi. I'm going to take a drink first. Gotta prepare myself for this one, I think. Well, we were told it's intense, so maybe. Written 2/16 of the year 322. Dear Sun-hee, you know what? Fine. I'll tell you the truth. The false alarm? It wasn't a false alarm. I didn't lie about the bleeding. That was true. But I really was pregnant at the time, more than I let on in my letter. As in, morning sickness, giant belly, you could see it. I really was pregnant and bleeding. My husband brought in the doctor immediately, who asked me all sorts of questions about everything. I was fine, perfect health, no injuries, I told him. So he pulled out his instruments and started listening to my son's heartbeat. And listened, and listened, and listened. It felt like forever that he kept trying, and I couldn't understand why he couldn't find something I knew just had to be there. The obvious never occurred to me. He had to explain it. I'm sorry, the doctor said. There's no heartbeat. The fetus is dead. He couldn't do anything about it. It took a week for the actual miscarriage to happen. It was the worst week of my life. It was hellish. You've had 2 children, I'm sure you know. That wonderful feeling you get when you realize you're with child. That you know that you're going to have a baby and you can feel him inside you and imagine what he's going to look like and what he'll grow up to be. And that right now he's depending on you more than he ever will to keep him safe. You know that feeling, I'm sure. Just the day before, I had been so happy I was going to finally have a child. And I found out. I could still feel him, dead, but still inside me, sloshing around. The day before, I thought I was filled with beautiful life, but I was actually filled with death. I would have no son. What I was carrying was just a corpse, weighing me down. I thought I'd feel better once I expelled it, but then I saw it. This awful, bloody mess that should have been a son. It was awful. So awful. After I saw it, my husband had forced me to wash myself because all I wanted to do was crawl in my bed and die. I didn't get out of bed for a whole month after that, save for a brief hour so I could write you and tell you I wasn't pregnant. Eventually, I recovered. I realized it wasn't my fault. Eventually, we started trying again. After all, what you, Mom, and Mother-in-law have all been implying is right. I'd be a lousy wife if, after 8 years of marriage, I still hadn't had a child. So I did. So we tried, and I did eventually get pregnant. Then it happened again. That was half a year ago. You're right. I'm not perfect. I'm as broken as it gets. The one most important thing in the world for a woman to do, and I can't. You've been pregnant twice, and you now have 2 wonderful children that you love. I've been pregnant twice, and all that's happened is I've killed them both. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why. The doctor says I didn't do anything wrong, but clearly I can't bring life into this world. The only thing I can bring is death, little sister. Today, I overheard my husband talking to mother-in-law about considering taking on a second wife to actually give him a child. He sounded really disappointed in me. I don't know what to do. Kill myself, maybe, since killing seems to be all I can do. It'd be better for everyone. It'd be easier on my husband, and you wouldn't have to worry about me being a disappointment, at least. It's the only thing I could think of. What else could I possibly do in me? That's, very sad. I'm surprised I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't have any memory of that. I somehow must have skipped over it, or I was reading at night, so I don't know. I don't know about you, but I had a really hard time reading that the first time. Can you imagine that? It's even as if I knew her, but I didn't even know there existed when I was alive. I mean, sure, their mother mentioned that she'd had daughters before, in a sort of abstract way, but she never told me so much as their names, let alone, well, anything. Anyway, none of that was my original point. My point was, now do you see what I mean? When Mute talks about a happy marriage, that's what she's talking about. It's not as if I'm the only woman to have a horrible marriage. It wasn't my fault. That's what happens. That's normal. How sad. Here you go. Thoughts? There's one more that you and me never sent. I'm going to warn you now. It's really intense. Yes? I'm pretty sure that that's just the same text that we got. I don't think it gave us anything new. Nope, no it didn't. Okay, we're going to finish off Mute's questions. Question 8 from Mute. With a drink. Did you ever have any friends? Dale, did you? I'm your friend. I'll be your friend. After waking up from stasis, I only ever had one single friend. Oh, 2, I meant, now that you're here. Anyway, before it was just her. The Queen, my husband's wife, Ryu Jiehua. I wrote about her a lot in my diaries. I'll just show you. It's probably better if you read it for yourself. These are from right after I got married. Well, I'll go back and at least look at that, but I want to ask her the final question first. Block 6. Yeah, okay. There's more. However, I said I'd finish off the questions, so let's save. I guess I just skipped right over those because I'm at... Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Question 9 from Mute. Why did you kill all those people? Look, there's something you need to understand first. After waking up from stasis, I only ever had one single friend. And, 2, I meant, now that you're here. Anyway, before, it was just her. The Queen, my husband's wife, Ryu Jiehua. I wrote about her a lot in my diary, so I'll just show you. It's probably better if you read it for yourself. These are from right after I got married. Interesting. Interesting indeed. But I guess we'll end off the episode here and, well, read Hyunai's diary, essentially. What she wrote about her only friend since waking up in stasis. So that's going to be interesting, I think. But that is for next time, and I hope to see you all there.